song that they normally sing and say, when I go to the city, or when I go to live alone, or when I go to the city, I'll dye my hair, I'll pierce my nose, I'll tattoo my body. That was me. Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to another video. My name is Betha and you're watching Betha Fau. So if you're new to this channel, I do actually talk about hair, I do product reviews, and I also do lifestyle and vlogs. So feel welcome. So as you can see, I am actually rocking these artificial locks, which actually I have been rocking for the last 5 months. Now we are on the 6th month, which is July. And I'm hoping they do last me 4 more months, and that will make it almost to a year. So currently I just believe that, or I do keep in mind that I'm keeping this in for a year. I'll be taking them out early because I do need to experience colors like during the festival season, and I also need to do something different, for my birthday photo shoot, if that's going to happen. So either way, this has actually been a big blessing, and I do love the fact that I can make this on my own, install them on my own, and retouch them on my own. Yes, if you think I'm coming up with these stories, go in the videos below and just like look across my channel. Please make sure you do like, subscribe, and share with your family, friends, and relatives. So in today's video, we are actually going to be talking about 20 hair care mistakes. 20 hair care mistakes that I used to do and I no longer do them. As a matter of fact, since I did discover them as mistakes, I had to actually let them go. Now, some of these mistakes are also things that you people normally do. And if this is in your checklist, please just go and sign it out, because it's not helping. It's not improving your hair growth. It's not helping your hair system. It's not helping at all. It's subtracting, and we said if it is subtracting, let it go. So the first one is washing your hair often. So growing up, when I used to go to school, I used to have short hair. So I think that was one thing that we used to do, like each other day. When you go to shower, you actually end up washing your hair. So at that time, your hair was short, you didn't have length goals, you were not trying to actually keep up with the trend, changing the hairstyles, and so forth, so on. So washing your hair or washing your scalp or washing your head at the moment was okay. But if you're actually chasing length, and if you want to see the growth and change and improvement on your hair care journey, washing often actually strips the hair its nutrients and its oils. So when you do wash your hair often, you'll actually feel that it is a little brittle, it's a little bit dry, it's a little bit, at times even it can mat, because there's just a lot going on. And because washing hair needs to be done, with a process, you just waking up and going to wash it without detangling, oiling, and all that is going to actually affect your hair growth. So washing your hair daily actually does not help. It actually makes the hair strands very weak, which will end up or lead up into breakage. Using hot water to wash your hair. So I did mention a few days back, there are people who actually love or like using very, very hot water. Like they feel okay, which is fine. But now when you do expose your hair to a lot of heat, you'll actually make your hair break, because too much of heat is actually going to damage your hair strands. If you use a lot of too much of heat from the blow dryer, if you are exposed to too much of heat from the sunshine, those are things that are actually going to affect your hair strands, which will actually lead to dryness, ending up to breakage, and your hair won't be healthy. Your hair goals will actually be trashed into the drainage. Skipping deep conditioning. So I used to skip deep conditioning a lot because I used to feel like I did not need it. I think you can either skip not deep conditioning. You can either skip leave-in conditioning, but deep conditioning is so important. Why? Because this is one time you're actually like interacting with your hair, and you need actually to leave it in a good, fine, healthy state. When you deep condition, you're actually helping your hair strands a lot, and you're actually making them less less brittle, and also you're making them strong, and also it helps reduce the split ends from appearing. So skipping deep conditioning is actually a hair mistake that I used to do, especially before the time I actually even started deep conditioning. So there's that bit. Then brushing wet hair roughly. You're not supposed actually to brush your hair while it's wet. You're actually supposed to finger detangle. Now, I used to actually just go without detangling. I used to go and just like start washing my hair and trying to go in with the brush, detangling brush, after I have applied shampoo. Then I did realize that a lot of my hair was falling off. So when your hair is so wet, actually what you need to do is to finger detangle. Also, when your hair is too dry, what you need to do is finger detangle. You going in with the comb on your wet hair is actually making your strands very fragile, which will actually lead to breakage. It can also cause detangling. Is it detangling or tangling? Tangling of the hair strands, which will end up just snipping them off, because once your hair is tangled, I don't think there's undoing that. So keep that in mind. Now, we did talk about using too much heat, and that did go for both hot water and styling. When I actually did, the first time I was getting my hair done, I used to like get it so much blow dry, especially when I want to get a new hairstyle. Like I want it so straightened. Like, why am I even straightening it? And I'm going to be hiding it into artificial, not artificial, synthetic hair. So I used to like actually just straighten it. Then after that, I would actually get the braids done. And after, when the period of me staying with the braids was over, I would actually take them out and I would see a lot of shedding. This was actually just the hair that had already been fried and didn't have any attachment anymore to my scalp, because it had broken up, and the new growth, the new hair was now just the new hair was growing, and now the old one had just been hanging inside those synthetic hair. So a lot of heat is also not good for your hair strands. I think with straightening the hair, you can actually use heat, but very minimal heat. You can use African threading. I have done videos, I think 2 or 3 videos on African threading. They're going actually to be in my channel. If you can go and view that, there's that. So you can actually use this to actually prevent usage of a lot of heat on your hair strands. That will really help. Now, not sleeping with something to cover your hair. I currently still not sleep with something to cover my hair, but I use silk sheets. So sleeping with something covering your hair, actually it does help a lot, especially if you are having a hairstyle that attaches or gets so much linted. So that's actually going to help. But I have tried sleeping in a bonnet, and I can tell you, like, just the heat will wake me up, because it's too warm inside the bonnet. So I am currently not sleeping in a bonnet, I can't lie about that, but I am actually using certain pillows to just prevent lint from getting to my hair, if not a certain scarf, because at least the scarf at the end, it will be open and I'll have some circulation of air. For those who are sleeping in with their bonnets, it's a good thing, because that's one thing that actually did came with a lot of this information came in when there was a lot of movement about natural hair care. So another thing that I did actually neglect is regular trims. Now, like I did mention before, trims are supposed to be done when you feel your scalp, your hair strands, the ends are a little bit brittle, and there is a lot of split ends and shedding and all that roughness or tangled hair. So trimming doesn't have to be regularly, but it has to be done. It being not regularly doesn't mean it should just like be avoided and neglected and left alone. No, trimming has to be done because it helps your hair strands reduce the amount of breaking and what are they called, split ends, and also it helps you keep a healthy natural hair care journey. So the next thing is actually using sulfate heavy shampoos. Now, even before we go to the sulfate heavy shampoos, I used to use sulfate for my dandruff. I currently do use tea tree oil and it is working marvelous and perfectly. If you haven't tried out tea tree oil, I think tea tree oil should just be normalized and used by everyone, because I haven't raised my hand towards my head for a long time, that at times I normally forget even that I do have what kind of hairstyle I do have, because it's not itchy at all. As long as I do wash my locks once a month, apply the tea tree oil and some olive oil, do the retouch, that's it. No more scratching and itching, scratching and itching. So I used to use sulfate, and sulfate actually, I feel that it made everything worse for me, because when I did apply, it actually pretended to make things calm, but then after the oiling like was over, when the sweat and everything came back, you start feeling very very itchy, like it's like now it has multiplied by 2. And mark you, my hair is only itchy here, like at the back it's okay, but here it's just where everything normally worsens. So if I do start itching here, I'm starting to think of a new hairstyle, I'm starting to think of so many things, including even shaving. So once I switched from sulfate to tea tree oil, I haven't been able to scratch my scalp, so it has been amazing. And I think I will just like 100 times I wish I had realized this sooner. So sulfate was actually introduced to me by my mom. Ever since she was paying for my salon bills and taking care of my hair, she actually did recommend me to use sulfate. Despite the fact it was working for her, I don't know, but I think it was working for her and she thought it would actually do the same for me. But for me, it just did like it wasn't the situation. Once all that oily part is gone, like once the sulfate has stayed on my scalp for some time. So the hair growth was terrible, because every time I started scratching my head, I felt like I should undo the hairstyle, or I would feel that the hairstyle is already like, it looks horrible, it needs to be redone. So that taking down and installing actually interfered a lot with my hair care journey and length retention journey. Skipping scalp care. Now, there is a group of people, there is a group of people, once their hair is done at the salon until the next salon visit, they won't be oiling, they won't be washing their hair in the cornrows or the braids or whatever protective style they're having. They won't be doing anything. Now, this is you skipping protective hair care. What do you call scalp care? Because your scalp actually, it behaves like your skin. You do wash your skin daily, then you do oil it daily. But because your head has hair, you are not doing that for it, and you expect your hair to nourish. How? That is actually not going to work. So I think people do need to realize that scalp care is also important. So at this end, we do have hair care, we do have extension care, and we do have the scalp care. So how you're going to balance these 3 is what matters a lot, and what's going to give you better results. If you put so tight extensions, you're going to lose your hair. If you put extensions that are so heavy, you're going to lose your hair. If you put extensions that are so brittle and rough and doesn't care about your hair texture, you're going to lose your hair. If you don't oil your scalp, you're going to lose your hair. if you keep things that actually tend to be so long, or people do sit on them, or you actually at times do sit on them, you're going to actually have hair loss. So that's so important in your hair care journey, and these are actually some of the mistakes that I personally made that I don't want you guys making in your hair care journey. Overloading on products. And like I said, when I did began my hair care journey, I had a lot of products. Anything would land on the market, I would see it on the YouTube or any other platform, I'll be out there buying. I did buy a kilo of Eco Gel, which I never actually used. Never, like never. And that's the point where I realized I'm not a gel person. Now, the kilo of Eco Gel, I gave it to a friend who actually was enjoying the gel journey. She will just like do low bands. What are they called? Are they called slick bands? Yeah, the slick bands. She will do the slick bands and just be like, the person who got this gel, thank you. Because me over here, I can't even apply the gel on my, I feel like once it has dried, I'll start feeling itchy. And the other thing is it will flake on me, or I'll feel like I need to just undo it. I have never done a slick ponytail. I have never done slick puffs or whatever. The slick hairstyles, I've never done them. Why? Me and gel don't go parallel with each other. Now, I'm currently experimenting on gel, as you can see. But I'm trying to actually like buy very minimal, and those minimal tend to last me more than even months, or let's say 2 to 3 months. So this is the current gel that I'm using, and I was given this by someone, and it was almost halfway done, and I do love it. It does smell amazing, and it does work for my hair strands. So thank you to whoever gave me this. But the point is, stop overloading your products on your hair. Have one good shampoo that does work for you. It clears your hair, the dirt on your hair or the build-up on your hair. 2, have a deep conditioner. 3, have a leave-in, which is not even a must. But 4, have an oil or a cream. Either of the two or both. That's going to work out for you. Now, there are also those people who just run from brands to brands. Today you want to try Cantu. Tomorrow you want to try, I don't know, shea butter from Zoe. The other day you want to try Bamsi. The other day you want, I don't know, to try wax from I don't know who, whatever. All these products are just the same. You just need to find the one that's working for you, because there are some which will not, and leave alone those that are not working for you alone. Not you overpiling and trying to use everything at a go and all that, and it's not, some are working, some are not working. Even you don't know which ones are working and which ones are not. So keep that in mind. That was also another mistake that I did make at the beginning when I was actually starting my hair care journey. And so far it has been amazing, because lately I'm so content with the little that I do have. The conditioner that I'm using is actually from Marigold. So I don't think I do have a favorite conditioner in shampoo. I tend to shift from one to another, but I try to make sure that whatever it is, it works for me. If I do use it for the first time and I feel it's a little bit not so good, I just stop there. And also, I do love something that does have egg or tea tree, peppermint, those kind of things. So this is from Marigold, and my gel is from Bamsi. Then I don't have a leave-in conditioner. I do have tea tree oil and some olive oil, and that's it. And that just works perfectly well for me. Especially now that my hair doesn't itch, I tend like not to bother or try comparing brands and all that. So keep that in mind. Another thing that I did was ignoring my hair porosity. Now, when you're talking about hair porosity, we are talking about how quick your hair absorbs water. And as per mine, I think I'm at the middle, because it's not so fast, but it's not also so quick. It's not so quick or so slow. It's there at the middle. So when I did begin my hair care journey, I actually used to follow a YouTuber who actually was doing the rice water challenge. Whoop, I jumped into it. I didn't even know that her hair porosity and mine are so different. My hair was so dry, my hair was so brittle. my hair broke. Like, I did not see any improvement. I even wondered, why are people praising the rice water so much? Because I was not seeing any improvement. So make sure you do check your hair porosity, understand it, and try to see the product that do work for you. That's the only way you're going to get to the next level. Next, detangling from the roots to the ends. Now, how do you detangle your hair? When detangling your hair, you start from the roots, working your way up. When you're combing, you start from the roots, working your way up. Because if you start here and there are tangles here, you're not going to get through. I think that's just so clear. Most of us, in fact, 101 of us, 100% and one of us, 101% of us do start just combing from the roots to the ends. And this is actually especially when you have taken down a protective hairstyle, like you have undone your braids. Then there's that I don't know what's called, that normally like attach itself between the braids and the roots or your hair. Then you just start combing from there. And that really did break my hair a lot, especially when I was just a beginner in using synthetic hair and hair extensions. Now, I don't know how to emphasize on this enough, but coloring your hair without professional help is the worst idea. Like, 101 things can go wrong. And this I did learn the hard way. I had grown my hair for I think for a year or so, and I had this lovely ponytail. Oh my god. Then something lied to me. If you do dye your hair, you'll look amazing. You'll have more followers. My hair went to the drain. Like, it literally fell off. Like, after dyeing it, I went to the salon to get mini braids. Before, I was actually wearing mini braids. But after dyeing it, I went to the salon to get mini braids. I don't know what I was looking at, because that was not me. Those were not my hairstyles. My hair was so thin. My hair was shedding. My hair was falling. I ended up trimming it. So you dyeing without professional help, that's just a no. You can't do that. I think I just need a whole story time to tell you exactly how I did end reaching to the point where I wanted to dye my hair. I ended up doing it, the pressure that I did have, what really inspired. There's this song that they normally sing and say, when I go to the city, when I go to live alone, or when I go to the city, I'll dye my hair, I'll pierce my nose, I'll tattoo my body. That was me. I got the dye, I stayed with it so long, and immediately I moved away from home to come live alone at the city. The first thing I did was dye my hair. It was just waiting for me to pierce my nose and tattoo my body. Because it fell apart. Things fell apart. Do not dye your hair without professional help. It's not going to work out. Unless you are the professional, they are the professor. Is it the professional or the professor? The professor, the professional advisor. Do not do that. Now, something that I did learn, on all the videos that I did see on YouTube, they were actually saying, try with a few strands before dyeing the whole head. And that was the first step that I did miss. So I just took it out, I mixed, applied the whole head, applied everywhere. In fact, the lashes, what are these called, lashes? Not lashes. The eyebrows were so lucky. I did forget them. I did apply the dye all over. My hair was brown. I don't know if I still do have those pictures, but if I do, I'll be leaving them here, because things just went from 100 to 0. My hair just fell apart. Everything fell apart. I started looking like as though I was homeless. I was so worried. And I did keep it for a month. No, I went to the salon. I got braids. I did keep it for a month. When I took the braids down, I shaved. I trimmed it. After that, I went to the salon, got braids. I was so traumatized that I couldn't even handle my hair. Got braids again, shaved. Got braids trimmed. Until now it came back into an afro. Now with the afro, it looked so nice because the tips were brown and the roots were black. So with that, I think it was nice. And also, that's also another thing. I think if you're going to dye your hair, make sure you want to shave it, or you want to just trim it or have a big trim. Second thing, make sure you try on a strip of hair before actually applying it. Third, make sure you're using the correct dye. Don't just go in for a cheap dye or anything. I think that just needs to be a whole video on what to do when you want to dye your hair, from my experience. Now, what I'm advising you, seek professional advice when dyeing your hair. Even if I were to dye my hair at the salon, maybe somebody will tell me, let us try first a strand. If not, let us just dye the tips because it will look cooler, and leave the roots alone. And that's also one thing that I would love to do, because dyeing the tips and leaving the roots alone, once you're done or tired with the dye, you just trim it off, go get your hair done again, and you're back to the normal, without having that all big chop idea of thing. Just a trim and you're back to the normal growing your hair journey. So make sure you do seek professional advice. Then we have not drinking enough water. Currently, I can't advocate that I do drink enough of water. It's so cold. It's so cold out there. I think today it was around 18 or 19 degrees. And that just makes me feel like it's so cold, especially because I was raised near the equator, where the sunshine is a daily bread, it happens daily, whether there is rain. In fact, immediately after rains, the sunshine will still come back and shine, especially as long as it's still daytime. So I haven't been drinking my water correctly, and I think that's one thing I also need to focus. Keep in mind, whatever you take into the body, that's what's going to reflect on your out appearance. If you are sick inside, it's going to reflect on your out appearance. If you are eating junk food and all that, we are going to see all that. What you do in darkness is going to be shown in broad daylight. So keep that in mind. Then another thing that I also learned the hard way is believing in every hair trend that I saw. Now, this goes back to the dyeing. I thought once I do dye my hair, I'll get more and more, what are they called? Subscribers, viewers, and all that nice good stuff. I have my black hair. I have my 2,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by. So there's that bit. Whatever is trending doesn't mean it's good for you, doesn't mean it's good for your hair, doesn't mean it doesn't even mean you have to be associated with it. At times, some things that you have or do personally are more effective than what you see others doing and want to copy. Whatever works for them doesn't mean it will work for you. So these are actually some of the what are we calling them? 20, I think they did reach 20. I hope they did reach 20 hair care mistakes I used to do that I no longer do in 2025, because your girl is learned, your girl has enough information, your girl is satisfied with herself, your girl is proud of herself. So if you did like this video, please make sure you do leave a comment in the comment section, leave an emoji of a heart if you came this far. Make sure you do share it with your families, friends, and relatives so that we can all have a healthy hair care journey from now forever. Amen. See you.